Pelé is regarded as one of the greatest footballers in history, with a legacy that transcends sports. His influence reached far beyond the field, sometimes even crossing into the realms of politics and global conflict. One of the most captivating stories about Pelé's power and global appeal is the tale of how he allegedly stopped a war in Nigeria, an extraordinary claim that reflects the unifying force of football. The Nigerian Civil War, also known as the Biafran War, raged between 1967 and 1970. The conflict began when the southeastern region of Nigeria declared independence, calling itself the Republic of Biafra. This secession led to a devastating civil war, characterized by extreme violence and one of the most infamous humanitarian crises of the 20th century, as millions of civilians suffered from famine and displacement. In the midst of this brutal conflict, a different kind of event took place, one that would momentarily shift attention away from the fighting: the arrival of Pelé. In 1969, Santos FC, Pelé's Brazilian club, embarked on an international tour that brought them to numerous countries around the globe. With Pelé as the star attraction, these matches were more than just exhibitions, they were global spectacles. Santos's tour made a stop in Lagos, Nigeria, at the height of the Civil War. Despite the conflict, football fever was undeniable, and Pelé's arrival was seen as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to witness the world's best player in action. This led to a now famous story: the claim that a ceasefire was declared between the Nigerian government and Biafran rebels, so both sides could enjoy watching Pelé play. According to the legend, fighting stopped as both factions united, at least temporarily, to witness the beauty of football brought to life by the Brazilian icon. But is it fact or fiction? The tale of Pelé stopping a war has taken on a life of its own, becoming one of the most repeated anecdotes about his global influence. However, despite the compelling nature of the story, historical records do not confirm that an official ceasefire was declared solely for Pelé's visit. While it is true that Pelé played in Nigeria during this period, and the matches went ahead without any incidents of violence, the claim that both sides agreed to a formal truce remains unsubstantiated. In interviews years later, Pelé himself acknowledged the legendary status of the story, but stopped short of confirming that he truly halted the war. Still, the power of this narrative endures, likely because it represents something larger than football itself. The legend of Pelé halting the Nigerian Civil War speaks to football's ability to transcend politics, conflict, and division. Even if the ceasefire story is more symbolic than factual, it highlights the way sports can bring people together, even in the darkest of times. Football's universal language, one of skill, competition, and joy, allowed Nigerians on both sides of the conflict to set aside their differences, if only for a short while, to witness a piece of history. Pelé's visit to Nigeria during the war also underscores his immense popularity across Africa. At a time when many African nations were newly independent and searching for role models, Pelé's fame spread like wildfire. His performances in Nigeria and other African countries during this tour were about more than just football. They were moments of inspiration for millions of people on a continent still forging its identity on the global stage. The story of Pelé's match in Nigeria during the Biafran War has survived the test of time because it's not just about one man or one game. It's about the unifying power of sport. Even amidst the chaos of civil war, the Nigerian people found common ground in their admiration for Pelé, a footballer who brought a sense of hope and escape from the harsh realities of the conflict. Whether or not the ceasefire truly happened, the legend has become a symbol of football's ability to bridge divides. It reminds us that in times of turmoil, sport has the potential to be a source of joy, unity, and even peace.